This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. It's Monday, November 15th, 2021. Let's talk about the news. From the Wall Street Journal, at COP26, world governments agree to strengthen emissions pledges, but questions loom. The COP26 Global Climate Conference that ended this weekend has attracted mixed reviews, with some analysts calling it an iterative step forward, if not revolutionary in any meaningful way, while others contend it was a missed opportunity or step backward at a moment in which persistent forward motion is vital. Several agreements, including one between the US and China that's short on specifics, but generally considered to be a good thing, and 2 others related to deforestation and the reduction of methane, came out of COP26 discussions. But firm action against coal, which is by far the most polluting of all common energy sources, was stymied at the last moment by India, which promoted a change in language so those signing the proposed deal committed to phase down rather than phase out coal usage. A small but significant change that ended a standoff over the proposed deal, but which has ruffled a lot of feathers as it provides ample wiggle room for those who want to keep using and investing in coal power for the foreseeable future. From BBC News, Austria orders nationwide lockdown for unvaccinated. Facing high and still increasing infection numbers, the Austrian government has announced the approximately 2 million people who are eligible for vaccination but have chosen not to get the jab and who have not recently recovered from COVID infections will be placed in lockdown from today and will be required to remain so for at least 10 days, at which point the government will determine whether the lockdown should continue. Governments have been hesitant to implement lockdowns for just the unvaccinated for equality-related reasons, even though much of the spread, medical costs, and mutations have been attributed to folks who have decided, for whatever reason, not to receive available vaccines. In this case, though, Austria is seeing one of the highest infection rates and has one of the lowest vaccination rates in Europe. Only about 65% of the population is fully vaccinated, so they've decided to give such measures a limited try, despite the near-certain pushback and possible legal challenges they'll receive from those impacted. And from Reuters, global car makers now target $515 billion for EVs and batteries. A new analysis conducted by Reuters indicates that automakers worldwide are planning to spend more than $500 billion on electric vehicles and EV batteries through 2030. This is quite an increase over a similar analysis they conducted 3 years ago, which had automakers committing around $300 billion for the same sorts of investments. The new 5 to 10 year estimate is more like $515 billion, and the people running these companies have said they're aligning their budgets with existing and impending regulations, but also shifts in adjacent industries and predicted consumer preferences. Similar studies by other groups have come up with numbers ranging from a few $100 billion to nearly $1 trillion over the same period. So it's prudent to take all such estimates with a grain of salt, but it does seem likely this order of magnitude is accurate, and that we could see even higher numbers in the next batch of analyses a few years from now. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts, at understandery.com.